we're going to be taking a look at some NBA moments that you don't see very often, instances that you'll probably never see happen again for a very long time. Just going out on a limb. Enjoy the video. It's not unusual for players or coaches to get ejected from a game. We see it all the time, but for a mascot to get ejected has to be pretty rare. Now, I'm not talking about times when it's obviously scripted. I'm talking about legitimately getting kicked out of a game for interfering with the action on the court. Benny the Bull is one of the most popular mascots of all time. In fact, he was the first ever mascot in the NBA, and I'm pretty confident in saying that he was probably the first mascot to be forced to leave a game as well. It was Game 3 of the 1974 Western Conference Finals between the Chicago Bulls and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bulls coach, Dick Motta, was frustrated with how things were going in the series, and after he disagreed with a foul that was called on his team, Motta ripped off his jacket and threw it at the referee, saying, "Here, you've taken everything else, you might as well take this too," resulting in him getting ejected from the game. Then, shortly after, Bulls captain Jerry Sloan, who was sitting on the bench in street clothes due to injury, ended up getting tossed as well for arguing the call. Again, a coach and a player getting ejected is nothing new, but Earl Strom, who was one of the referees for that game, went where no ref had gone before, throwing out Chicago's mascot while he was at it, after Benny the Bull apparently cursed him out. Now, this isn't the only time a mascot was told to leave, and there's actually footage of this one. On April 4th, 1991, referee Steve Javie ejected Washington Bullets mascot Hoops for inciting the crowd in what Javie believed was an attempt to turn the crowd against the refs. Now, if you think ejecting a mascot is unusual, I think ejecting an announcer has it beat. During a game in 1994, Blazers broadcaster Mike Rice got into a sideline argument with, you guessed it, Steve Javie. Blazers Cliff Robinson thought that his shot was goaltended, and apparently so did Rice, leading to a heated exchange between he and Javie. And with Javie previously showing that he wasn't afraid to execute the unimaginable, went ahead and ejected Mike Rice, earning Rice the distinction of being the first and only announcer to ever be thrown out of a game. And seeing how he would behave sometimes, I can't say I'm surprised at all.
As that's the first miss.
And nobody is off limits when it comes to getting banned either. Teams have showed time and time again that they will not hesitate to ban their very own fans, which I totally understand if it's deserved. But I didn't think I would ever see a team ban their #1 fan. Pretty much every team has their own superfan, a hardcore supporter who has a deep passion for the franchise. But apparently the Denver Nuggets thought that their superfan went a little bit too far. Meet Vicky Ray, who is among the most recognizable Nuggets fans. She's been a season ticket holder for over 3 decades and has held a very coveted spot in Ball Arena, right along the rail of the walkway that the Nuggets used to take the court. She would always hug the referees and players, even going as far as to offer them candy. And in her own home is a shrine of some sort, with thousands of pieces of memorabilia. She's been loyal to the Nuggets through thick and thin, but in February of last year, Vicky's unwavering support hit an unexpected roadblock.
She's held season tickets for 32 years, missing, she says, only 7 games outside of COVID, but now the team says she's no longer welcome.
She was accused of grabbing a referee as well as hitting a player in the face.
Grabbing a ref, and he pushed me away and said no, which I knew was not true. The team wanted them to tell me that a player said, "Vicky hit me in the face," which is near impossible because their face is way up here and my hands were down.
She was called and informed that she was being banned, her tickets pulled.
Does it hurt?
A lot.
This is your life, right?
It has been for 32 years. And I don't deserve to be treated like this.
The ban sparked a debate among the Nuggets fan base, split on whether it was an overreaction.
Oh, she got banned.
It's a little drastic.
Yeah, but if she can't follow the rules, then yeah.
Seems like there might be another way to do this.
Brandy Costello, who would always sit in the same row as Vicky, came to her defense.
So let me ask you the hard question first.
Give it to me.
Does Vicky get out of hand?
Never. The players and the coaches loves Miss Vicky. I have a video to show they love on her, they hug her.
She says she'd give Vicky her tickets for the rest of the year so she could sit in her seats, but she can't because Vicky has been banned from Ball Arena during Nuggets games.
Again, if she really did cross the line, then I guess she has no other choice but to suffer the consequences. But getting punished for notifying that there's a spilled drink on the court is something that I can't even wrap my head around.
7 points at halftime. They have 38 points here in the third quarter, and a technical foul.
Somebody spilled a drink on the court. Somebody spilled a beer on the floor, and the players were just trying to get him to stop.
And so a technical foul was called. The Warriors explained themselves that there was an issue on the floor.
Well, at least the mop-up crew didn't get hit with a tech for cleaning it up. That would have been ridiculous.
Is there going to be a technical foul is called?
They called a delay of game.
Yeah, but
because the ball boys came out there to wipe the sweat off the floor. They called a delay of game.
Well, wait a minute.
Okay, can you ever remember a ball boy getting a technical foul?
Well, all you're worried about is the safety of the players, and they're calling a delay of game on that.
I realize that us sports fans can get bored of watching the same team win year after year. But have you ever seen a coach get so bored of winning that he decides to just take the rest of the night off?
Steve Kerr handing over the keys, but just for a night. During timeouts in the game, Kerr handed his clipboard over to Andre Iguodala, David West, Draymond Green, and as you just heard, Stephen A. Suns guard Troy Daniels felt it was very disrespectful.
So Steve Kerr is always innovative. How about letting the players actually run the huddles for this game?
I can maybe understand players getting a bit bored after blowing a team out, but to be so dominant to the point where your coach thinks he's not even needed is an embarrassment of riches. Another strange and unconventional way to run your team is having your active players literally take a back seat to your injured players.
I don't know if it's just a little tighter in the bench areas because of the configuration, but you have active players sitting behind as if they're in the penalty box.
I'm not gonna lie, I was wondering the same thing. I feel like they're sitting behind. I also feel like all the other players that we just showed are scrunched up together.
But Reese Beekman looks like he's in a timeout.
I never thought I would see a team prioritize individuals who weren't even playing over the ones who actually came to play. Just the other day, I came across an article that took me by surprise, as it's something you don't see every day. In fact, you could argue that the only reason it even happened was because they let it happen. Back in 2004, Candace Parker did what no girl had done before. She won the McDonald's All-American High School Dunk Contest, and did it against future NBA players such as J.R. Smith, Josh Smith, and Rudy Gay. In the final round, Parker covered her eyes for a no-look dunk, while J.R. Smith failed to throw down his dunk, and just like that, history was made.
Candace, congratulations on being the first winner ever of the Power/ED Jam Fest, the first woman winner. Thank you.
Candace, how does it feel? You're the first woman.
Feels great. I mean, I'm excited to be here at the McDonald's All-American Games.
All right, guys, there she is, the champion. She was the first junior in high school to win the Naismith as a Player of the Year. Now she's the first woman to win the slam dunk contest. Back to you.
But obviously, people were well aware of the elephant in the room, which was the fact that she was basically handed the title. Her dunks were unspectacular, and only won because the boys in the contest failed to complete their dunks. But at least she was able to admit it.
I'm not a fool. J.R. Smith could kill me in any dunk contest, but he missed his dunks. And I was making mine, so...
We have history, ladies and gentlemen. Candace Parker. She's the first woman to win the slam dunk contest.